Hello programmers around the world. Android Nerd is here. Today I am going to show you 10 mistakes programmers make. Number 1. Start coding without plans. This is the most common mistake which every beginner programmers make. A good plan helps you to prepare a way to solve an issue. Most of the programmers are enthusiastic to start coding down the chunk of lines of codes to solve the problem or finish the given task. Every good programmer does plan before starting to code. Number 2. Copying and pasting code rather than learning them. Many beginners at the starting of their career start by copying others' code than really knowing how these lines of code work. Copying from the good source is also good in some cases, but you have to understand properly what you are copying. Try to understand why those function, methods, and declarations are written for and how do they work. It may take longer than other of your colleagues beginning to start programming, but you will learn more, and next time while facing such type of problems you won't need to copy and waste your time. So, for every beginner, I would suggest you learn to code rather than just copying it from other sources or experts. Number 3. Overcommenting. I'm a big fan of self-documenting code. That's code where the variable, function and class names, and overall architecture communicate the meaning of the code to other developers, and your future self, without the need for lengthy comments. However, I do also see the value of commenting, especially where it flags a workaround for a specific issue that might not be obvious. Number 4. Bad variable and function names. Most difficult task in programming is naming variable and functions. But don't give them random names or else you'll forget what each one do. Give the variable names that define their role so you can identify each one and use it easily. Number 5. Overcomplicating things. Programming is fun most of the time if you understand it. Try to understand it and make it fun. Overcomplicating things is the beginner's mistake in all crafts. Take the time to really understand the problem you are solving. Learn about the tools available to solve it, and work properly to eliminate everything unnecessary. Complexity kills your efficiency, so take things easy. Number 6. Poor error handling. Error handling is a critical part of the software, and an exception management strategy is something most beginners don't even know exists. An exception handling mechanism is a great way for handling errors. However, exceptions handling may be misapplied. The most common error is to catch exceptions that you never intended to. Trying using try/catch block to catch exceptions. Number 7. Repetitive coding, not reusing code. There are many possible methods to let you reuse the same functions and properties in your code by inheriting the actual class and using those members, functions, or properties inside your derived class. In programming, reusable code is the use of similar code in multiple functions. No, not by copying and then pasting the same code from one block to another and from there to another and so on. Instead, code reusability defines the methodology you can use to use similar code, without having to rewrite it everywhere. Number 8. Not using debugger. Debugging during programming is a multi-step process that involves identifying a problem, isolating the source of the problem, and then either correcting the problem or determining a way to work around it. The final step of debugging is to test the correction or workaround and make sure it works. It gives programmer opportunity to step slowly through your code to better understand exactly what's happening. Number 9. Pessimistic and lack of confidence. Never think you are not good enough, not smart enough, but always work hard to make anything happen. At the beginning, the code looks like the chunk of complicated words. But that's cool, every newbie feels the same way at the beginning. As time goes by you will learn everything bit by bit. No need to fear anymore. There's definitely an element of natural talent to programming and logical thinking. But it's massively outweighed by hard work, reading tutorials, and looking up documentation. Number 10. Fear of code review by experts. Last but not the least mistake beginner programmer do is they fear to review their code with experienced ones that they might get embarrassed by them. Fear that he/she might be even laughed at for writing such code. Never fear of making mistakes. Reviewing your work with experienced ones will provide you the insight on how the code should be and how it can be written efficiently. Never ever isolate yourself from the experienced one. Ask them for help when you get confused. That's the way to learn fast and grow quickly as a real experienced programmer from being a beginner. That's it, guys. See you in the next video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.